So now, ladies and gentlemen, live and in colour, it's Mr. Wayne Lovejuice.
The other day I produced a Louis, had a chat with an interesting chappie who said that the YouTube algorithms really aren't that happy. If a channel only broadcasts once a week, so we decided we could text ya whenever we've got a piece of news in our new book on the track Xtra. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of On the Track Xtra. Now, a good friend of the show is a guy called Nick Holland, and a couple of months ago he said, "Hey guys, can we have some more book reviews?" And more recently, after he started broadcasting these book reviews, another good friend of the show, Doug Whipple, he wants more book reviews as well. So, what can we do in the face of such overwhelming number of requests? 2 whole requests, that's completely overwhelmed us. So, every time Richard's here on our Sunday afternoons, we do 4 or 5 book reviews. And today is one of those book review days. So, Richard, what have we got in the filing cabinet, if that's the right word, for today?
We've got The Mystery Animals of Great Britain and Ireland by Graham J. McEwan. What a great book this is. It was published around about the same time as Alien Animals, and it covers a lot of the same ground, but it focuses purely on the British Isles, whereas Alien Animals was worldwide. So this has got chapters on sea serpents, lake monsters, big cats, black dogs, and my favourite is called Many Kinds of Life, which have weird little one-off cases in where some strange thing has been seen by somebody and then never seen again. And like Alien Animals, this is a book I read very early on when it first came out, and it was very influential on me. This chapter, Many Kinds of Life, it has things like the big grey man of Ben Macdui, the big shadowy fear-bringing spectre of the Scottish mountains. It's got the mocking beast, which was this weird little corgi-sized lemur-like creature with great evil eyes that gazed at the witness and seemed to freeze her. It's got Old Boneless, which was this shapeless cloud-like thing, like a wet blanket or a huge fleece that came rolling down a lane shortly before World War One, I believe in Somerset it was, and oozed up over the witness, who was a policeman on his bike, and he said it was like having a great smelly wet blanket dragged over him, and he was so frightened that he asked to be put on a different beat. All sorts of strange things, the things under the bed, weird little toad-like creatures that came out from under children's beds, the Abbey House animal, a creature like a huge earless hare that ran around on its hind legs, the Borley bug, which was a weird insect seen at Borley Rectory, the horseman of County Louth, which was a creature resembling a horse with a human face and weird bug eyes. What the hell was going on? Everybody's heard of lake monsters and things like that, and big cats, but in the Many Kinds of Life chapter, there's these bizarre things that are just not seen anywhere else, and it's absolutely great. And of course, the Owlman.
Well, I was just going to say, the Owlman, this is a book which has had immense influence on me, because it was the book that first introduced me to the idea of the Owlman, and first introduced me to the story of Morgar, and first inspired me to go and hunt out the man who became my mentor and father figure in many ways, Tony Doc Shields. And it's a remarkable book, but in other ways it isn't, because I got it as a birthday present from my ex-wife in 1987, I think it was. And I had been studying cryptozoology as a hobby, and I knew about all sorts of little biological anomalies within the flesh and blood zoology of these islands, like, for example, the green lizards, which aren't supposed to be found in Britain, but which have been reported from places all along the southern coast of England, and the pine martins and beech martins, the first of which is supposed to be extinct in England and the second was never supposed to be found here. But I had come up with quite a lot of evidence to prove that both species are found in a quite wide range of habitats in Britain, and evidence from English nature eventually proved me right, at least as far as the pine martins are concerned, and I hope it will prove me right eventually with my suppositions about the beech marten. So when I got this book, I was initially a bit disappointed, because I wanted to hear about all these other things which I knew lived here but nobody ever wrote about. And so the lack of these things in this book inspired me many years later, when I was running a CFZ Press, the publishing arm of the Centre for Fortean Zoology, to do our series, Mr. Animals of Britain and Ireland, going through Britain and Ireland region by region, in some cases county by county, going through all the anomalies, both the zooform ones and the physical zoological ones. And if it hadn't been for Graham McEwan's great book, and it is a great book, I'm just nitpicking, if it hadn't been for Graham McEwan's book, I would never ever have thought about doing it in the first place. Have you anything else you want to say?
Well, much like Alien Animals, I'd give this 10 out of 10. It's inspirational, it's great. I mean, there are some things in it like the Brentford Griffin, which we now know are hoaxes, but at the time we didn't. My only criticism of it is he does things like black dogs and legendary beasts like that, but he hasn't got a chapter on dragons. And Britain is full of dragon legends, so that's the only mark against it. But other than that, it's a great, great book.